Hey everybody, Danny Maude here, head professional at Canterbury Golf Club in Kent. And in this week's training, I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to know how to strike your chips and your pitches, i.e. this distance away from the hole, much more consistently? And you find that you hit the ground sometimes before the ball quite heavy, or sometimes don't hit the ground at all and you actually thin the ball through the green. Well, in this week's training, I'm going to show you two of the main common faults as to why people do this. And I'm going to give you some real simple solutions that's working so well with some of my clients right now to help you correct it. So let's get started. So let's start with how you're supposed to strike in the first place. So when we're striking a pitch shot, we're needing a gentle brush on the ground, but maintaining the angle of the shaft leaning here. If what I see with so many golfers is their shaft lean through impact is too far back, okay? It's too far here, so the leading edge starts to hit towards the ball. This is the front bit here, and there's no angle on there, so we thin it along the ground, okay? What we want to do is maintain that the lean forward so we get a much better strike here. What that looks like at dress and through impact is a shaft lean here like this, and when we're coming through we're kind of maintaining that shaft lean through the impact area, which is what most people struggle to do. Now here are the two major faults. What I find is there's way too much movement in people's pitching. I've just had a recent client, and what he tended to do was, first of all, there was a move on the way back, and then because he'd been told to strike down on the golf ball, he then almost lunges down towards the golf ball. So again, way too much movement. All movement that's just not necessary. It's such a simple action, and we want to maintain it that way. So how do we do this? Well, step one, become aware of how much you're moving around. Okay, if this is you, okay, become aware of how much you're moving off the ball and onto the golf ball. We don't need to do any of that. We stay nice and still. So the first thing to do is I would actually do some swings and maintain your balance so there's no movement. And one of the ways to check this is to make a backswing and stop and actually see if you've had any movement. Most people, when they do a backswing, you'll see them moving almost to the outside of their right foot, or at least have this movement here. What we want to do is, once you've recognized this, we want to then maintain the swing and maintain the stillness over the golf ball so we're not moving at all. The only movement that we have is a gentle movement back and forth of the shoulders here, okay? That's what moves, but our weight distribution we try and stay as constant as possible so that we can return this club back to impact more consistently. The second thing that's required then is again, it's limiting the variables here. The second thing is, if we have lots of wrists going on, okay, then that's a lot of things to correct and get right. So if we can, and obviously if we're trying to get this shaft lean, wristy actions actually get the reverse. They get the shaft leaning this way. So what we try and do is we try to maintain the shaft lean, and the way we do this is when we're coming through, we swing through and keep this left arm and club forming a straight line. Now, some of my clients even know they should be doing this, but they still can't do it. So here's how it works for me, and this is how I'm working with a few of my clients. This is how they go about practicing this. So it works almost every time. So the first thing to do is, you can't do a proper swing. One of the best ways to kind of start working on this is to swing to the backswing position here and stop. Double check your weight. Notice here, when I say swing back, we've got this triangle formed between our shoulders and our arms. We move that triangle straight back here, okay? Now we're going to pause. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to simply stop, and we're going to move the triangle straight through here at a nice smooth speed and hold the finish position. Now what this will help you do is, by stopping, it gives yourself a chance to do a couple of things. One, check, yeah, and two, actually slow you down. Because a lot of people I see, when they're chipping, they're so nervous, they're so jabby, they're in a sense kind of, they're moving without even realizing, okay? So doing a pause is a wonderful way of working on this. Stop, maybe check, and slowly move through. And this is kind of what it'll look like in practice. So we're standing there, we've got the shaft lean, we come look, I can even have a little chat to you, I've got the unit right from here, and away we go. And what we're doing here is we're simply getting that unit moving backwards and forwards. And you can see, I don't need to do non-stop swings to strike good, decent shots. This is all about, for yourself here, understanding the two elements that you've got to work on and then how you go about working on them. So the two elements are maintaining your balance so you're not swaying backwards and forwards, and then from this position keeping the unit going backwards here, okay, much more together, back and through. The other thing with this, it's the third thing here, would be to kind of maintain the width that you're swinging. Okay, a lot of people, because they've been told to swing down, they tend to chop down towards the golf ball. Keep the width, so it's almost the swing is quite shallow. So we're working it back here, stop, work it through. You see, I'm not taking any big divots here, and again the same principle, work on the rhythm, stop here, from here, and then all we're going to do is we're going to swing through to the target. Okay, backwards and forwards, nice and shallow, nice and rhythmical, almost into the hole. So all of this requires work, and one of the things I'd work on here, just to summarize here, we've got a couple of things. Maintain your balance, try not to move off the ball. The way you check this, stop, have a look, how are you moving, okay? Second thing, keep the unit, okay? So this left arm and club, keep it much more solid. Keep it here, don't be breaking it up and down, okay? Keep it going here. This will create a nice shallow movement, okay? Stop, again, same principle. From here, then slowly move the unit through. It gives yourself an opportunity to check both positions, and therefore helps you measure whether you're doing the technique right. So many golfers are improving their technique sometimes, but they don't realize it because they're only viewing whether they're doing a good shot or not, whether they hit a good shot. Sometimes you could be making real progress in your technique but not always hitting good shots. So we can't manage what we can't measure. So here's how we measure it. We check position here and we check it here. If you do that, you'll make really quick progress and you'll get most out of your time on the practice on the driving range. I really hope you enjoy this. As always, guys, I'm in here on a regular basis, so if you've got any questions about this or any questions on your chipping and pitching, put them in the comments box below. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you know someone who's struggling with the chipping and pitching and you think this could help, share it. I really appreciate it. Also, if you want to receive regular training straight into your inbox, ping subscribe and subscribe to my channel. But until next week, have a great week. Goodbye.